sei mais pra onde ir, já que a noite foi. Acorda, Pedrinho, que hoje tem campeonato. Vem dançar comigo, vai ver que eu te esculacho. Sei que não dá pra ver.
There are many proven beneficial factors like eating nutritious food, moving enough, deep breaths, time in nature, doing something meaningful. The list goes on. If health is one of the most important things in life, isn't it crazy that for many people there isn't much time to follow all the ingredients for that? And people like me are even damaging the body when sitting and looking at the screen for such a long time. On top of that, millions of people struggle with their mental health. And if we talk about healing, a lot of time, patience and strength is also needed. Life gives us lemons, sometimes too many lemons for our individual nervous system to handle. So, no lemonade. In this series, I want to shed light on different methods for healing and prevention in terms of mental health, listening to experts and healing stories. As I was starting my own healing journey, I thought conventional psychotherapy is the only way to go. So I want to show options as inspiration. Why me? I used to be a very happy person. Hakuna Matata was kind of my lifestyle, and I could have never imagined how dark life can get until I hit rock bottom. For some months, nothing ignited my curiosity. There was no resonance with the world. I wrote my bachelor thesis from idea to print within almost 1 month and received my worst grade. First, I experienced months of sadness with crying for hours, and after that a phase of a lot of anger and despair. I felt completely out of control of my emotions and behavior. Didn't know myself anymore. I lost my inner smile, creativity, and couldn't give to others. I could hardly draw my attention to other things in life than my wound. It was present whatever I did, wherever I was. I was so stressed that for months I could hardly sleep more than 4 hours a night. Even some days in a row I wasn't able to sleep at all. When I did, I had mostly nightmares. I felt I was poisoning myself and didn't know how to stop it. I instantly applied for cognitive behavior therapy, but it didn't quiet down my symptoms. After 1 year, I changed the therapist and therapy method without success. I went boxing in hopes to calm down my rage. Went to hypnosis, joined a meditation program, and lived for 1 month in a mountain hut. Existing was painful and a constant search for relief, me willing to do all what it takes to heal.
She's a part of me, I don't wanna let go. She's a part of me, I don't wanna let go, no. She's a part of me.
I also did a yoga teacher training, lived in a Buddhist monastery, received Reiki, experienced breathwork, EMDR, trauma therapy, and dived into somatic experiencing as a method. And actually now I feel better. For years when people asked me, "How are you?" I wasn't able to say good. A feeling I couldn't even remember in my darkest episodes. Sometimes I still have flashbacks, my body shakes or I wake up from a nightmare. But overall I can feel more joy and love again. I learned that those emotions are stored deeply in my body. And that I don't need to change or fix, but rather to cope and be with them. To drop the story of my mind, stop analyzing, and feel what's happening in my body. Also, I realized how important sport is for my well-being, and how my mood changes completely after having a proper workout. Those emotions are like waves, coming and going, sometimes rougher, sometimes softer. Pain is inevitable, but suffering is a choice, one of the Buddhist sayings. Every path to healing is individual, and I do believe strongly in the idea that healing is possible. And there are lots of tools I think are useful to educate us about.
There is a crack in everything. There is a crack in everything. That's how that light. That's how the light gets in. That's how that light. That's how the light gets in.
Costa Rica. lush nature. A small country which consists almost 6% of the world's biodiversity. Personally, I crave nature and wanted to explore more about the trend of forest bathing. I was invited to join a gathering of trainers from the Association of Nature and Forest Therapy, who are coming together to exchange and deepen their own practice. What is forest bathing, though?
The literal term is Shinrin-yoku. It originated in Japan, and it means to bathe in the atmosphere of the forest. I think forest bathing is really this opportunity to slow down, tune into our senses, and take in the medicine of being in the forest.
That being in nature is essential for us seems like common sense. But what happens exactly?
So there are many proven scientific benefits, like all these phytoncides. The phytoncides are part of the immune system of the tree. The tree uses the phytoncides to combat virus, bacteria, and fungi. And the interesting thing that they found in a study is that when humans get exposed to these phytoncides, our own immune system gets a boost.
When people spend a few days in nature, or 3 days even in nature for a couple hours a day, it can boost your natural killer cells, which is your tumor-fighting white blood cells. It can boost them by 56%, and they stay that way for a month, which is pretty amazing. So most of us in the Western world, we live in our sympathetic nervous system, go, 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 push, push, push. And when we're outside, we come back to our parasympathetic nervous system, which is the calm part, rest and digest, they call it. It's like our whole system does a big sigh and starts to come back into our natural state of being, which is equanimity. It's not stress, it's equanimity. And our bodies are designed to be outside. This is in our DNA.
Not just being in nature, but also touching nature is beneficial according to studies. With a simple voltmeter, you can see the difference between being isolated, for example when wearing shoes, and being in direct contact. That's no real proof for earthing, but personally I feel amazing when walking barefoot in the forest. Back to the beach. This time Amos, the founder of the association, is guiding an experience not in the forest, but in the water.
Okay, so welcome everyone. Let's just start feel your feet beneath you. And notice with some detail the sensations that are in and around your feet. It may help to close your eyes. Notice also any tendency of your body to be held and moved by this water.
We have become so numb and we're on our phones so much and we're somewhere else. So we understand now that you can't stop the mind from thinking, right? It's just generating thoughts all the time. But your attention is like this flashlight and it can only shine on one thing at a time. So all the tools we use, we call them invitations. They're supporting you in moving that flashlight away from your thoughts and towards your sensations. And that gently helps guide people into an embodied state. And then we always say the forest is the therapist, the guide just opens the doors. And it's really the doors are these sensory doorways.
What are the sounds of this place? What are the smells of this place? What can you taste? What is the taste of the air?
But we don't tell you how to feel about the experience. We're just getting you into the body. Just move this one finger back and forth. Can you feel inside your finger what the movement feels like, the sensation of this? And then you add the other fingers, maybe the wrist. We're moving all the time, but we never feel it.
What is happening now? My belly is saying this would be a really good time to eat. And my impulse to be lazy and to just declare this walk over is pretty strong. But I also have in me a sense of responsibility happening.
I'm floating somewhere between love, grief, joy.
I'm noticing some like storminess, and as I sort of just notice it, I feel like this expansion.
A lot of people talk about when they come on a forest bathing walk, they talk about the unconditional love that nature offers them. And it says, you know, you don't have to be special. You don't have to be good. You don't have to be anything. I'm just going to welcome you here as you are. And then for me, it's this reciprocity piece of turning that back towards nature and seeing everything around us and saying, I'm going to love you the way you are and not wish you were different.
When we get reconnected with the land, something starts to happen. We come back to ourselves, we get more grounded, we fall in love with these places. It's like we come back into a right relationship with the land. And when we do that, there's an element of right relationship with ourselves. And it's not a judgment, it's just there's this sense of wholeness that comes back to people that is profound.
I believe Indigenous communities are one of the few people who are actually living really connected to nature, and I'm always fascinated by them. Like, some have the ability to do telepathy, others foresee their food in their dreams. And now I'm going to visit a tribe in the south of Costa Rica and see what I will be able to learn from them with my limited Spanish skills. I was picked up by a boat. The left side is Panama, this is Costa Rica. And this was also happening most of the time, because the river was so dry, but they knew every stone. I'm staying every day with another family. They teach me, for example, about plant medicines or how to prepare cacao. Es amargo, 100% cacao.
100% cacao puro.
Wow.
Orgánico, bio. Para nosotros, la naturaleza es la representación de Sibo, porque él lo hizo. Nosotros también, usted, yo, todos somos Dios. Dios está en todos nosotros. Entonces, si nosotros no nos valoramos unos a otros, estamos contra la voluntad de Dios, de Sibo. Y también pienso que todos tenemos derecho de vivir en este paraíso que Dios nos dio. Entonces, es un paraíso realmente. Tenemos todo aquí y si no la cuidamos, pues vamos a perder todo.
Wow.
No.
I'm really fascinated that everything what I consume here is like coming from this place. Basically, we live in a giant supermarket and a giant pharmacy, and it's not like in the cities where you need to buy everything, you need to go to a store to buy everything. This is a store, like I can just grab anything and eat it, and it's all healthy, delicious, organic. And I told one woman that I have so many mosquito bites and it's really itchy. And then I asked for like a leaf or something which could help my itchiness, and then she showed me, this one. And then I just grabbed it and put it on my skin. And then now it feels better, for sure.
Mi mensaje sería que se unan a nosotros a cuidar las aguas, ayudar con los desechos, todas esas cosas. Minimizar tal vez un poco lo que es la industria, todo eso para que pueda ayudar, pues, para que esto pueda durar más. Es lo que tenemos ahorita como el calentamiento global. Hemos destruido demasiados bosques. No pensemos en el dinero, pensemos en el futuro de los demás.
No es posible de comer dinero.
No es posible de comer dinero, exactamente. La misma naturaleza te da la paz. La misma naturaleza se siente como esa armonía que es una paz y no hay estrés.
Explorar.
Explorar.
Sí. I would like. Yo quiero. I would like. To swim.
To swim.
I would like to swim.
I would like to swim.
Yo quiero nadar.
Yo.
Yeah, sí.
I like to swim.
Dios nos dejó a nosotros el sol para mirar el tiempo, el día. Entonces para nosotros el sol es el día. Entonces no nos dejó un reloj que diga las 7, las 8, las 9, las 10, no. Pero también dejó algunas flores que ahora nos damos cuenta que cuando son las 10 de la mañana él abre. Existe para nosotros el mes, el año, pero no como así como calendario, con fecha digamos de 1 al 30 o de nombres como enero, febrero, marzo, abril. No, eso no existe para nosotros.
La luna es como.
Ahorita estamos en la nueva.
Nueva.
En Bribre, Sibomar. Esta es una planta para sacar la fibra.
¿Para fibra?
Para fibra.
Fibra.
Para hacer mochilas como esto.
Wow, ¿es de eso?
Sí.
Wow.
Para sacar la fibra.
Thank you, Costa Rica, for embracing me with your richness. Now let's all enjoy Mother Earth and see you in the next episode.